VinController.eu. Check vehicle history for every used car in Europe. Welcome to another Boostmania International episode, and today we're working on the Corolla. And today's plan is to take as much as we can from the engine bay. That also includes the fenders, the lights, the front bumper, the radiator, and all this so the car can get to the body shop. What's up, everybody? That's right, today we're going to take out a lot of stuff from the engine bay. Like the complete brake lines with the ABS box, the brake booster with the brake master cylinder. We'll take out the fuse box, along with the whole wiring harness that continues to the front lights. We'll take the AC condenser out, along with all the AC lines. And we're removing all this, so that the body shop can concentrate on removing the strut tower rust. And after all that, hopefully, we can paint the whole front end. So we'll be taking off the bumper and the lights as well. Yeah, we'll take the lights off, the bumpers, the fender guards. Basically, everything that covers the chassis of the car right now has to go. Let's do it then. First we'll take off the bumper and the lights. It's best to have the right tool for the job. In this case, we need these calipers. We can take out the plastic plugs pretty easily now. That way, we can remove the bumper without damaging it. And the plug stays undamaged as well. The worst thing you can do with these plugs is to try to pry it out with a flathead screwdriver. The head always breaks off then. I can see some genius has been here. Instead of somebody just replacing the screw that was missing and not breaking the plastics around it, they used this self-tapping screw straight through the bumper. Which is kind of sad, because you could have used the original mounting spot. So, the whole front bumper was held on by 3 rusty screws and a single plastic plug. It's a miracle it didn't fly off on the way here. I just found this mini turbo in here, and I'm pretty curious. Do you know what it is? I saw you're quite happy about that. Technically, this is a turbo. It's just a small compressor that jams some air into the intake when the engine is cold. It makes the mixture more rich. By adding more air, we also increase the amount of oxygen we have. And therefore we have to add more fuel, which causes the engine to warm up faster. There's a few things to be mindful of when taking the harnesses off. You have to be really careful not to cut the wires or destroy the connectors. What makes this case a bit more difficult is that these plugs are a bit more exposed to the weather conditions. So they're definitely a bit more beaten up. And it definitely does make them a lot more brittle. So they're eroded. Yeah, they're eroded, they're corroded, which also applies to all the metal mounting tabs. You have to take very good care when taking it all off the chassis. So right now you're disconnecting the horn connector, right? Yep, that's right. And I can't even feel it move, so it's going to the car with the horn. I'll try to carefully disassemble it at a table, because I really don't want to destroy the original harness. Here we have an impact sensor, and this is actually the sensor that makes your airbags go off when you crash. There's one on this side, and there's an identical one on the other. And just by looking at them, and the color of the plastic, you can see these have been exposed to dampness as well. Really hope the connectors are alright. But we'll check all that after disassembly. But this is a very important sensor. If these are not alright, we'll definitely have to change them for new ones. Now I'm taking off the intake resonator. Its primary function is to dampen all the resonant sounds that might be coming from the intake. And just like all the other screws, these are in terrible shape as well. I can probably just break all this off. The whole connection where bumper meets the fender is completely broken. It's in 3 pieces. Just look how nice that is. It's in 4 pieces now. 5 now. Now I have to take the wipers off. We're taking them off to take the front cowl off, so that we can access the holes that hold the fender to the car. I fought with the first wiper quite hard, and I'm afraid the second one is not a different story. It's really stuck on there. I might have to use a puller for that. But this whole part is completely covered in plastic, so the puller would destroy that. And I'm also risking cracking the front windshield. So I'll have to play with this a bit. All right. There's some nice flora and fauna. I'm pretty sure this is smokable. Better now. Perfect. That's how you fix a front bumper. Please explain this to me. All the muddy water and dust go down from the windshield through this small channel. Come look in here. Wait a sec. This part is wet for the whole year. Look in here. Beautiful paint. Not a single piece of rust. But this part, that's exposed. Which sees a lot more oxygen and doesn't see so much water. And it's completely rusted through. I think it has rusted out because it's just a bit away from the expansion tank and the brake booster. I'm guessing there are some fumes it lets off, and I think it slowly helps this metal to rust through. Can't explain it otherwise. But since we were thinking so hard for a bit, I think it's time to play. Oh my god. Now I can say buying this car was worth it. Hey, by the way, this is a metal part. Since we still haven't drained the brake fluid out, we're going to suck it out of the system now. Yeah, right now I'm sucking the brake fluid out, and this expansion tank is actually connected with the clutch fluid as well. And through this line, the brake fluid can get all the way to the clutch master cylinder. We've just taken out the wiper fluid reservoir, and I must say, I've never seen it like this. But mainly, I found these two pieces interesting. Well, these are basically just the pumps. This one is responsible for pumping the fluid to the front windshield, and this one is responsible for the back. Since this is a hatchback, the rear glass is sprayed as well. So these are basically the only places where you can get the wiper fluid out. Essentially, you can either try sucking all the fluid from the top, which is quite complicated actually. You can see how it's shaped. Alternatively, you can take the fluid pumps out, but I won't be doing that because I'm afraid of breaking them. I've just connected their lines together so that it doesn't leak. So here's your trophy. Oh, thank you very much. I think this is a nice centerpiece for our office. Now I'm about to disconnect all the electronics from the ABS pump. And it has this huge complicated connector. But if I unlock it like this, it just nicely slides off. And here you can see how many cables you need to get a proper ABS system. There's a whole bunch of them. There's at least 4 wheel speed sensors. It takes some information from the ECU about the vehicle speed and much more other information. It is a really complex system. Alright everybody. Right now, in my hands, I have the complete ABS assembly. There's also the brake master cylinder with the brake booster, along with all the braking hard lines with the connection to the rear ones. We still have to take care of the AC lines, and there's some more electronic bits to take care of, but the whole left side should be disconnected. Now we're going to disconnect all the electronics from the firewall, which is the part that divides the engine bay from the cabin, and we'll also disconnect the right side electronics. It's basically the same on this side. Some lighting, the ABS pump lines, along with the front impact sensor. But after that, we should be done. Maybe if Zdeno can't do this, I can. Think I can take it off? This is a terrible tool. Don't you have a full service at your disposal? We finally got it off. Joseph just got a taste for manual labor. Yeah, finally got my hands dirty. So, we've taken off everything we needed to take off. The body shop and painters can now do everything they need to. All the bits around the frame rails have been unbolted, and all that's left right now is this big wiring harness. This harness goes through the firewall and gets connected to other harnesses inside. But if we wanted to take this harness off, we would have to take off the entire dashboard, all the electronics, and we don't really need to deal with that right now. We'll try to carefully pack all the electronics so that it doesn't get damaged, and we'll try to tie it down. It can stay under the hood. The car is now stripped to its shell. Well, rather, the engine bay is. All the parts are off, apart from the electronics, which we are yet to pack. The good news is, this car has truly never been crashed, just like this website claimed. But anyways, in the next episode, we'll take the car to the body shop, we'll get the strut towers repaired, as well as the right rear fender. And after all that, we can finally go for paint. Now, if you have any questions regarding this whole disassembly, even questions for Zdeno, feel free to leave them in the comments. We'll be more than happy to reply. Or just feel free to leave any comment. We'll be really happy. Anyways, see you in the next one.